Every morning in the wild, a gazelle awakens. One thing is for sure for the gazelle that day, as every other. She must run faster than the fastest lion. If she cannot, she will be killed and eaten. Every morning, a lion awakens. For the lion, too, one thing is certain. This day and every day, he must run faster than the slowest gazelle. Whether fate names you a gazelle or a lion is of no consequence. It is enough to know that with the rising of the sun, you must run, and you must run faster than the day before for the rest of your days, or you will die. We all have to run the race of life.
An impossible event happened on our planet over 3.5 billion years ago. Life. It grew into countless creatures. Giant reptiles with armor plating and killer teeth. Bizarre mammals with wings. The fight to eat or not be eaten was the driving force. How did all these animals come to be? Why are they all so different? They have all been running in a race to survive each day. The fastest, the strongest, the smartest. They have developed unique tools and skills. They are winners in the race of life. Our hero is a man with an idea. It sums up the reason for every creature living on Earth. Charles Darwin. Darwin saw that all life comes from one ancestor. The amazing variety evolved because they are chosen by nature. Animals born the right shape or size will live. Those who are not are doomed to die. It is the survival of the fittest. Among the most ancient creatures alive is a living dinosaur, the crocodile, the largest reptile on Earth. There are 14 species of crocodile on Earth today. Most live in and around the tropics. Crocodiles can be 7 meters long and weigh 1,000 kilograms. They've been around for 55 million years, a giant lizard perfectly equipped to kill. This is the strongest jaw in the world. It can bite down with a force of over 1.6 tons. Once locked in here, there is no escape. Crocodiles might look primitive, but they also have finely tuned hearing, smell, and eyesight. In East Africa, the crocodile's favorite food is preparing to move out. To survive the dry season, zebra and wildebeest must migrate to greener pastures. To get there, they need to enter the world of the crocodile. They must cross the Mara River. There is safety in numbers, so both species will cross together. At first, a few brave individuals test the water. The crocodiles are alerted. Crocodiles can swim over 30 kilometers per hour. They can even run on land in short bursts. But their preferred method of killing is ambush. A mass of animals plunges into the river. For the crocodiles, it's hard to select a target in the frenzy of movement. For the zebra and wildebeest, there is safety in numbers. But there's always one, a weaker swimmer, the very young and old, or just the unlucky one. Most of the herd will get across the river, but some will lose the race of life today. The winners will produce offspring who are stronger, faster, smarter. So these herds will continue to evolve to survive. The crocodiles are also evolving to survive. They are cold-blooded animals, so they can live on a kilo of meat a day. But they do not know when the next meal will come, so they fight for every scrap of food. This aggression guarantees the strongest will survive. They will pass on their genes to their young. Darwin's survival of the fittest is played out every day all over the world. This is the race of life. Darkness falls, and another primeval creature is about to rise. A creature of myths and nightmares. Afraid of the daylight, they live inside caves and emerge at night. They are the inspiration for the most chilling character in our culture. Bram Stoker's Dracula. Bats. They are the only mammal with the power of true flight. Over 1,200 different kinds of bat exist today. 3 feed on blood, but most eat insects or fruit. Some roost on the ceiling in their thousands. Staying close together will keep the bats warm in the chill of the cave, and this gymnastic sleeping arrangement keeps them out of reach of most predators. The sky at night is the dominion of the bat. Most birds are asleep, so there is almost no competition for food. There are also fewer predators around. Bats have evolved to hang upside down. Their claws are designed to grip hard, the perfect position for a high-speed takeoff. At night, bats are the kings of the air. They are precision flyers. And they see with their ears. Each bat is sending out a high-pitched noise. The sound bounces off everything, giving the bat a clear picture of the surrounding darkness. It's called echolocation. It means the bat's prey has almost nowhere to hide. These amazing animals are able to adapt to survive. A few species are awake during the day. They are bigger animals and dine out on fruit, and in one case, even fish. Perhaps this is the reason bats have survived for 50 million years. As the sun rises, the nocturnal bats return to the cave. They are tired, but despite their isolated home, they cannot relax. In nature, the race of life never stops. The bat is a predator, but it is about to become the prey. A predator is attempting rooftop dining. This python has decided the dangerous climb is worth it for a meal. She's prepared to take the risk to win her own race of life. Our planet is dominated by the sea. It covers over 2/3 of the surface and can be as deep as 10 kilometers. One species has been living here for over 100 million years. These creatures have been perfecting their design through generations of swimming, hunting, and killing. Sharks. They are highly sensitive to prey, and when they find it, they are fast and ruthless. Over 500 different sharks now exist. They all have unique shapes and skills to survive. Sand sharks have teeth like needles for impaling fish. They are able to gulp in air so they can float motionless in the water to ambush their prey. The hammerhead's bizarre head shape allows her to see above and below at the same time. They have also been seen using their heads to pin down rays and skates before eating them. The tiger shark is built for high-speed turns. He has a wedge-shaped head to cut through the water and a high back and dorsal fin to act as a pivot. The great white. Some of these monsters grow to 6 meters. They can swim over 40 kilometers per hour. Their size and strength protect them from almost all predators. Sharks are perfectly designed killers. Their streamlined bodies are covered in nerve endings. They can detect tiny movements in the ocean from far away using electroreceptors. They are so sensitive, they can pick up electric currents as small as a billionth of a volt. A school of barracuda. These ferocious predators can be over 2 meters long. They will attack en masse, taking on fish even bigger than themselves. But today, the barracuda are the prey. The fish form a ball of swirling bodies to confuse the attacker. They have been spotted by a black-tipped reef shark. The race of life is on. Reef sharks are attracted to splashing movements and can detect the scent of blood from injured fish. When other sharks are present, the excitement builds into a feeding frenzy. Seals. They live in the colder waters of Great White Territory. Many of these seals have learned that if they swim out on a seabed, they are safe. But if they stay out on the surface, the sharks will strike. The seal is no match. albatross very rarely needs to rest, but when he does, he's in immediate danger. For the albatross and the shark, the race of life is on. Sharks live in almost every marine environment. Nowhere is safe. From warm coral seas to cold open oceans. Every creature that swims below or above the surface could be in the sights of one of these ancient ocean predators. Birds, mammals, fish. They're all flying, swimming, watching to live another day and to win the race of life. The largest shark of all is harmless to us, the whale shark. This gentle monster of the ocean is the most peaceful shark of all. His giant mouth is 1.5 meters wide, but it contains only small teeth and filter pads. Whale sharks prey on fish and plankton. They can filter 6,000 liters of water every hour. Whale sharks have few predators. Their defense is their size. They can reach 12.5 meters in length. Like most sharks, the female is larger than the male. Whatever their size, these graceful fish run their race of life at a gentle pace. To find one of the oldest survivors on the planet, we must travel from saltwater to freshwater. From the tropics to the temperate regions, from open seas to rivers and pools, to an island continent that's been drifting alone for 99 million years. The platypus. Part mammal, marsupial, part something else. This strange creature has larger prehistoric ancestors that lived in South America. But now he lives only in Australia. The male has poisonous spurs on his hind legs. Venom production peaks during the mating season, so these spurs are probably used to compete for a female. Platypus live in water that is often turbid with low visibility. The platypus is very well adapted to such an environment. Their bills are the ultimate tool for catching food when you can't see far ahead. Rows of receptors precisely detect the tiniest movements in the mud. The platypus is well equipped for life in the river. Skin between the toes has evolved to form webbed feet, homegrown flippers for underwater speed and maneuvering. Even their choice of food is a key to survival. Platypus eat a broad range of animals, so they have many options, from insect larvae and worms to yabbies. Even though they're made for life in the river, they can submerge only for a time period of between 40 and 140 seconds. Australia is a dry continent, and platypus need water to survive. If the waterhole disappears, the platypus will die. So rain is a welcome sight. The platypus is a monotreme, one of the few mammals left on the planet that lays eggs. And for this, she must build a burrow in the riverbank. Platypus fur can trap a layer of warm air. Even when the weather's wet, he stays warm and dry. If the worst happens and food supplies dwindle, the platypus has one more trick. He stores surplus energy as fat in his tail to be used up in lean times. He might be odd-looking, but this funny creature is the perfect collection of tools to win the race of life. One group of creatures has made a dramatic move to survive. They swim like fish, but have lungs like us. These animals are giants. One of them is the largest animal that has ever lived: whales. 50 million years ago, their ancestors lived on the land. Then they decided to return to the sea. The humpback whale swims halfway around the world every year to breed and find food. The sperm whale can dive to a bone-crushing depth of 2,000 meters. At these depths, they hunt their favorite food, giant squid. The orca can leap clear of the water. No one knows exactly why they do it. Perhaps to surprise prey, or perhaps they're just being playful. Whales have survived for millions of years, but their greatest threat came in the last few hundred. Man. We wanted their oil, their bones, their meat, and we got it on an industrial scale. We nearly wiped out many whales forever. Humans have shown that the best way to win the race of life is to use your brain. Killer whales or orcas have incredible intelligence. They live in family groups and teach their young survival skills. Orcas are large dolphins and can grow up to 9 meters in length. Most live among the ice floes of the poles, where there's a rich supply of food. They are apex predators, feeding on fish, birds, and seals. This pod of whales are planning their attack. The seal pup has no idea. Even the shallows can be dangerous. Orcas often beach themselves to catch a meal and can swim 50 kilometers per hour. This behavior is distressing to watch, but the whales are trying to stun the seal to make it easier to eat. Seals are fast enough to escape, but not all. By working as a team, the orcas get a meal and live to swim another day. The race of life is won by the fittest, the strongest jaw, the best agility, the fastest swim, the sharpest senses, the greatest size, the animal best equipped to live to the end of each day in the race of life.
Every morning in the wild, a gazelle awakens. One thing is for sure for the gazelle that day, as every other. She must run faster than the fastest lion. If she cannot, she will be killed and eaten. Every morning, a lion awakens. For the lion too, one thing is certain. This day and every day, he must run faster than the slowest gazelle. Whether fate names you a gazelle or a lion is of no consequence. It is enough to know that with the rising of the sun, you must run, and you must run faster than the day before for the rest of your days, or you will die. We all have to run the race of life.
The desert. Life out here is tough. Animals who live in these places have evolved to survive extreme temperatures, exposed conditions, and very little water. The survivors are well armed and well hidden. Some attack with lethal speed. Many are deadly toxic. The small amounts of food and water in the desert make the race of life here extremely competitive. Every day is literally a fight for life. Their senses are highly tuned. Their bodies are well protected. Their behavior can be bizarre. Sharp in claw and tooth, covered in armor, these are the creatures who will win the desert race of life. Planet Earth is a blue jewel in space. It is the only planet we know with water on the surface. This water has been here for 4.5 billion years. It covers over 2/3 of our world. Life began in the sea, from tiny single cells to primitive fish and crustaceans. And then about 5 million years ago, it crawled out onto the land. Nothing can survive without water. But there are places where it hardly ever rains, where clouds evaporate in the heat of the sun. Deserts. The challenge is not just the lack of water. Our hot deserts can be a searing 50 degrees. Our cold deserts an icy -20. It's difficult to believe there's any life in such harsh conditions, but there is. A second look at the cracked earth and the burning dunes will reveal some of the toughest creatures on Earth. Animals who live in the desert are supreme survivors. The perfect desert design lives in every hot desert in the world, from stony plains to arid mountains. They survive in every continent except Antarctica, from the sand dunes of the Sahara to the rocks and cacti of the Americas. And they've been doing it for a very long time. Scorpions. One of the most ancient creatures on Earth. They've existed since life first crawled out of the sea. It's not hard to see why. They have lethal weapons at both ends, and their bodies are well armored against predators and the desert heat. All scorpions have pincers at the front and a poisonous sting at the end of their tail. There are nearly 2,000 different species, ranging in size from 9 millimeters to a terrifying 21 centimeters. The scorpion's first trick for surviving the desert is to avoid the heat of the day. They stay safe under rocks and in holes in the sand. As the sun goes down, this primeval hunter comes out. Darkness also provides protection from predators and a feast of nocturnal animals. Scorpions have 6 to 12 eyes, but they don't hunt by sight. They hunt by running, by ambush, and with tiny sensitive hairs. The moment this moth touches one of these, the scorpion strikes and grabs it with her pincers. The tail swings into action and injects the prey with venom. The moth is paralyzed and can be eaten at the scorpion's leisure. Scorpions eat any small creature they can catch, even lizards and mice. Their sting contains 2 venom sacs and a barbed needle. Even their mouths have claw-like structures to break up food ready for digestion. Making new scorpions is a risky business. Males and females get together very carefully. This male has deposited sperm on the ground. He's trying to maneuver the female over the spot without getting stung. Then he backs off quickly to avoid being eaten. It's a lonely life being a scorpion, but it's one that has lasted over 420 million years in the race of life. The American Southwest, home to 3 deserts, the Sonoran, the Chihuahuan, and the Mojave, and famous for cowboys, canyons, and rattlesnakes. The supreme desert survivors. They have thick overlapping scales and a sharp sense of smell. Everyone living out here is on alert for one sound. Rattlesnakes can be 2 meters long. They're fast, tough, and deadly venomous. They're one of the top 10 most dangerous snakes in the world. Each fang is connected to a large poison gland behind the jaw. When a rattlesnake bites, the poison glands contract, squeezing venom into the fangs. A banner-tailed kangaroo rat is in the snake's sights. The race of life is on for prey and predator. But the rat has a good chance of winning today. He also has excellent desert survival techniques. If it gets close enough, the snake will smell the rat with its tongue, but it's confused. The rat freezes. The snake can't sense it. The snake moves in. The rat freezes. The snake has lost it again. Then a startling display. The rat seizes the chance to get away. The rattlesnake is still trying to find the rat, but it must go hungry. Finally, the snake has won the duel of the race of life today. Rattlesnakes usually hunt by ambush. The prey is swallowed whole. The snake's strong gastric juices can digest everything, even bones. In the desert, not a scrap of food is wasted. But these powerful snakes have an unlikely enemy, a fast-moving animal, a bird, who can turn predator into prey. The roadrunner. Roadrunners are small, high-speed hunters, and they love to eat rattlesnakes. They can only catch juveniles, so for the rattlesnake, reaching adulthood is the hardest stage in the race of life. Out under the burning sun, not many creatures can live for long. You need to be well equipped to cope with the heat and the dry. The Gila monster. This is a lizard unlike any other. Gilas also live in the sun-baked deserts of the American Southwest. Their bright markings are a warning. Because the Gila has jaws like a bulldog, and it's one of only 2 lizards in the world with a venomous bite. Gila monsters live around pools of water. They're hunters with very sensitive noses. Gilas can smell food from far away. They are not fast movers, but like marathon runners, they have high levels of endurance. This one has located a possible meal. An adult banner-tailed kangaroo rat is too fast for her. She's not concerned. Her senses tell her there's food waiting underground. Her sharp claws will help her dig through the hard earth to reach her prey. The newborn rats are defenseless. The healer bite kills them quickly. Her venom is in her saliva, so it flows down her teeth into her prey. The lizard has found a nutritious meal in the emptiness of the desert. She will live to hunt another day. Gila monsters can grow to 60 centimeters and weigh 2.5 kilos. And they're well armored. Each scale is supported by a piece of bone, which is a good thing. Healers play hard. Male-to-male combat is very dangerous when your opponent has a venomous bite. Only the strongest male will win the right to mate with a female. And this is another story of the race of life. As the day heats up, the last pools of water evaporate. This is dangerous for the Gila monster. She must retain all the body moisture she can. She must get out of the sun if she's going to survive the race of life. The deserts of the world are home to many lizards, each adapted to survive in a different way. The frill-necked lizard has two startling tricks to escape predators. He can run on two legs, great for speed and for looking out for danger. When threatened, the frill pops up, so the lizard looks many times bigger. Thorny devils are also good at looking difficult to eat. And if you don't have frills or spikes when danger approaches, try a disappearing act. That was a zebra-tailed lizard. Iguanas have developed incredible eyesight. They can see detail from far away. And they have a third eye on top of their head for sensing light and shapes. The desert looks empty, but millions of creatures live just out of sight. Ants. The most successful survivors are the smallest out here. Ants live underground, away from the heat. They lay trails of scent to guide their companions home or to a food source. And they fetch their food in teams. But ants are always running the race of life. There They're on the menu for animals who have lightning speed and a sticky tongue, and a bizarre Australian lizard. The thorny devil. These well-armored lizards need to eat thousands of ants a day to survive. Thorny devils are sit-and-wait predators. They find a good spot near an insect trail and wait for their prey to pass right in front of them. There will always be a feast in the desert if you are good at catching ants and other insects. Horned lizards also eat wasps, grasshoppers, and beetles. They're camouflaged, they're fast, and they swallow their food whole. In the desert, lizards are skillful runners in the race of life. The Sahara, the largest hot desert in the world. You have to be especially tough to make it out here, or especially clever. Almost nothing grows on these endless seas of sand. This is a unique desert survivor, the dung beetle. Dung beetles are a kind of scarab. Dung beetles are coprophagous. They eat the excrement of other organisms. It sounds unappealing, but these creatures are the great heroes of the desert. Not only are they survivors, but they transform the desert into a place where other creatures can live. They get everything they need from collecting animal dung, food, a nest, even water. It's incredible a creature can survive in a place so harsh. One ancient group of people had immense respect for this little beetle, the Egyptians. Just as the dung beetle carries a ball of dung, the ancient scarab god rolled the sun across the sky. Dung beetles are incredibly strong. One beetle can roll a ball 20 times its weight. That's like a human rolling a ball the size of a small car. They defiantly push their dung in a straight line, whatever the obstacle. And they have the endurance of a marathon runner. They know they have to hurry with the gathering because there's a lot of hungry beetles around the fresh dung. The males are also very tolerant partners. It's their duty to collect these enormous quantities of dung. And the females often hitch a ride. And best of all, these bizarre beetles are the gardeners of the desert. By burying the dung, They are digging in a ball of fertilizer that's full of plant seeds. They are helping new life grow in these barren places. But dung beetles can also be thieves. They need to keep a constant eye out for other beetles who will steal their precious ball of dung. Among all this dirt, dung beetles have one beautiful ability. They use the Milky Way to navigate, very sophisticated for this little winner of the race of life. Scorpions have been around for millions of years. They use the rattle to warn potential aggressors to back off or to distract prey. The rattlesnake, one of the few poisonous lizards in the world, the Gila monster. Most of them are able to move quickly, or they have strange shapes and unusual habits. These are the lizards. Is there anything cooler than a dung beetle pushing a dung ball? These creatures are real survivors in the race of life.
Every morning in the wild, a gazelle awakens. One thing is for sure for the gazelle that day, as every other. She must run faster than the fastest lion. If she cannot, she will be killed and eaten. Every morning, a lion awakens. For the lion too, one thing is certain. This day and every day, he must run faster than the slowest gazelle. Whether fate names you a gazelle or a lion is of no consequence. It is enough to know that with the rising of the sun, you must run, and you must run faster than the day before for the rest of your days, or you will die. We all have to run the race of life.
Our planet is a place of great diversity, from the sparse expanse of desert to the rich layers of rainforest. The animals that live here come in every shape and size. Each has adapted to survive in a unique way. The elite have reached enormous proportions. They use brute force to survive. But they need other tricks. Some have added weapons, armor, and speed. Others have intelligence, agility, and a strong family bond. A few have developed one feature to the limit, but all must fight every day to survive. All must run the race of life. Our story is set in the cradle of humanity, a vast continent that straddles the equator and reaches beyond the tropics. A land of extremes, with places so dry it hasn't rained for years, and tropical storms that never seem to stop. Where the air is warm and wet all through the year. And everything grows continuously, from the tallest trees to bushes, grasses, and mosses. Africa, land of dense jungles and enormous grassy plains. Home of the giants, the largest land animals on Earth, using the non-stop food supply to survive. Vast herds constantly on the move, always on the lookout for enough food and water to get through the day. They need to spend most of their time drinking, roaming, and grazing in a constant struggle to support their large bodies. Most of these herbivores are peaceful animals, but one of them has a dark and dangerous secret. He lives in the rivers and waterholes of Africa. Every animal needs water to survive, so this is where the race of life is at its most fierce. All who live here must evade hidden predators. The river provides food, drink, and bathing. It is a giver of life. And a place of death. Our star animal must share his home with the crocodile. Unlike the great herds who cross every year, he cannot move away to the distant grassy plains. The hippopotamus. Hippos can weigh as much as 2 tons. They have survived in Africa for over 8 million years. These peaceful-looking animals have a fierce reputation. Their skin releases an alarming red fluid. It's only a form of sunscreen, but people used to think that hippos sweat blood. The facts might have been wrong, but the reputation is well-founded. The injuries and scars on their skin bear witness to the daily battles facing these animals in their race of life. Hippos will fight ferociously for their territory. A typical group is mostly females and they're young. And one large, fierce male. He's perfectly adapted to the water. When he dives, his nostrils close automatically, but he can still see and hear extremely well, and he can stay underwater for up to 6 minutes. Hippos can't swim, but they bounce along the riverbed, coming up for air every few minutes. Our leader of the pod has about 10 females to look after. It's a full-time, stressful job, and some bulls have to protect pods with as many as 100 animals. This is when the dark side of the hippo comes out. Hippos will defend their territory against any intruders, including humans. Believe it or not, they kill more people than lions, leopards, and buffalo combined. But the main enemy of our dominant male is other males. He will allow small males to live in the pod as long as they are submissive. But with other large bulls, the fight is on. These teeth are formidable, like clubs with swords rolled into one. They are purely there for fighting and can grow to ½ a meter long. And they never stop growing. The combatant's jaws can hinge open to a full 180 degrees. Most animals draw blood in these battles, and our bull is in danger of serious injury, or worse. He has survived to protect his pod for another day. His skin is tough, but he will need some time to recover before taking on another intruder. For a lion, attacking a full-grown healthy animal is too risky. But hippos are vulnerable when they're out of the water, and sometimes a pride of lions will take the risk. Each must be faster, stronger, fitter to win. Today, the lions have won, and one hippo has lost the race of life. The African savanna is the stage for thousands of battles every day. The great herds are on the search for food. The predators are on the hunt for them. One animal appears best equipped to survive. And he has. The rhinoceros is built like a tank. And he's been around for over 6 million years. Despite their fierce appearance, rhinos are not hunters, but peaceful grazers. Rhinos are frantically running the race of life every day against starvation, other rhinos, and poachers. Their deadly horns are made of the same tissue as fingernails. They contain no blood vessels and no nerves. So if they're damaged in a fight, they feel no pain. The horn on this male can grow to a lethal 1.5 meters in length. He usually lives alone and fears almost no predator, except for one. The race of life for this rhino is against humans. Poachers who kill for that magnificent horn. Sadly, rhino horn is worth more than its weight in gold, so these iconic animals are becoming a rare sight on the African plains. Female rhinos are more sociable than the males. These mothers are dedicated to their calves and look after them for 3 years. But their weakness is their eyesight. Rhinos are extremely nearsighted. To this herd, a man with a gun looks the same as a tree at only 15 meters away. The animals of the savanna gather round the ever-shrinking pools of water. A rhinoceros needs a lot of water. If he doesn't get a drink for 5 days, he will die. As the last pools grow smaller, the race of life is on. Only the animals who can stay close to the water will make it until the rains return. It's getting hotter and drier. Life has become very hard. Things are desperate. The rhino will take on anyone to preserve his spot by the water. And so this grumpy giant makes a stand to live another day in the unforgiving climate of the African plains. The biggest animal walking the earth today can be heard from hundreds of kilometers away. The African elephant. Twice the size of their Indian cousins, African elephants are easily recognized by their larger ears. These imperious animals have been roaming the plains of Africa for 3 to 4 million years. African elephants travel in families of mothers and young. They must keep moving to find enough food to survive. The head of the herd is a grand old female, the matriarch. The herd has traveled over 100 kilometers. After a grueling trek, the elephants come across fresh grass. The elephant's trunk is not just a long nose, it's also a very agile top lip, capable of great strength and great sensitivity. She can use her trunk to touch, grab, and drink, as well as breathe and smell. Her huge molars are designed for grinding massive quantities of grass and leaves. Surviving the African heat is a challenge every day. The answer is a shower. A nice coating of dust will keep the elephant cool, but it also protects her skin from insects and other pests. When food is scarce, the herd must take drastic action. This is the only way to reach those tasty new leaves at the top of the tree. But the price is high, as the elephant is destroying her own food source. The elephant's multi-purpose trunk contains over 40,000 muscles, and she can use it to lift over 300 kilos. But she also needs it for affection, using her trunk to cuddle other animals in the group or to check that her family members are okay. Elephants are thick-skinned. Even on their face, the skin is 2.5 centimeters thick. But they are gentle animals, forming family bonds that last until death. Life is not so easy for a bull elephant looking for a mate. Only the biggest and strongest will be allowed to father a baby. Most bulls are over 25 years old before they are big enough to win one of these battles. But even the largest land animal in the world must run the race of life. For water, for food, and even sometimes against predators. A pride of lions is a danger to even a full-grown elephant if he becomes old or weak. This herd has not had a drink in 2 days. They followed the distant sound of thunder and victory. Water at last. You can almost see the joy on their faces as they suck up a cool, refreshing drink. The other animals share in this new lease of life. It's been a struggle to get here, but now it's time to celebrate. The herd will spend hours splashing, playing, and feeling good to be alive. They can live to 70 years old, which gives them plenty of time to teach the young ones everything they've learned. They also seem to feel compassion. When an animal dies, the family shows genuine signs of grief. These magnificent giants can use brute force or intelligence to win the race of life. There's almost something human about that. The most human-like animal of all lives beyond the African plains. The rain-drenched mountains of the tropics are draped with dense jungles. It's warm and wet, and there's a constant supply of leaves, shoots, and fruit. This is the home of a shy creature who has almost lost the race of life. Gorillas, intelligent, playful, and critically in danger of being wiped out. The head of the family is keeping an eye out for the youngster. This family lives in the forests of Rwanda, and they are lucky to be alive. In 1981, only 254 gorillas remained here. Most have been killed by poachers. Park guards are now well armed to protect the gorillas. They aim to stop a practice that goes back centuries. Gorillas are among the closest living relatives to humans. Only 2% of their DNA is different from ours. The young gorillas in the family quickly learn to climb so they can find food and escape danger. They also fit in plenty of time for fun. Gorillas eat over 140 different kinds of plants. A dominant male is called the silverback. He will protect his troop of females and their young for life. Young males are welcome to stay in the troop as long as they do not challenge the silverback. This baby is completely dependent on his mother. He will start crawling at 2 months old, but won't go far from her side until he's aged 3 or 4 years. As he grows up, he will have the entire troop to look out for him. They will fight off predators and teach him skills for survival. He quickly learns the tops of the trees are the best place to find fruit and juicy young leaves. Gorillas live up to 40 years. When the silverback becomes old, this little guy may be the one to challenge him, but that is over 10 years away. In the meantime, his family will only win their race of life if humans continue to defend them and allow gorilla numbers to continue to grow. The tallest animal on Earth is also a great African herbivore. As the sun greets a new day, the race of life on the savannah is about to begin. Tens of thousands of animals compete every day to find enough grasses and leaves to eat. They roam in large numbers for safety, as there are many predators lying in wait. The Thompson's gazelle sounds the alert. The great herds break into a run, but the predator runs too, a cheetah. But cheetahs tire quickly, and if they keep running, the herds will win the race of life today. But one animal has an advantage. She can watch out for danger from a great height. The giraffe. This graceful animal can be as tall as 6 meters. Her neck makes up a third of this height. They have acute hearing and large eyes with good all-round vision. They can even see in color. Other animals graze close to giraffes to make use of their predator early warning system. Despite his size, this giraffe can be hard for predators to see. His contrasting pattern breaks up the outline of his body. Like all giraffes, this one does not have a permanent group. He mixes with other giraffes when it suits and often moves on to join other groups. Even mothers and their young only stay together for a few months. But our male still has to compete for the right to mate. He must fight a unique and brutal battle. All males have more pronounced horns as part of their weaponry. The giraffe's coat is like a fingerprint. Every individual has a unique pattern. But our giraffe has one more huge advantage when it comes to competing with other herbivores on the African savanna. He can reach the food that other animals cannot. Giraffes nibble the leaves from the tops of trees. Their mouths and tongues are specially adapted to cope with the large thorns produced by some of these trees. But they do have to fight to survive the king of the African predators. The big male has seen the lion. He's not sure if the lions will attack. But then the giraffes take flight. The race of life is on. Giraffes can run over 50 kilometers an hour. Lions can run at 80. A well-placed kick to the lion can be a death sentence. If injured, the predator will be unable to hunt and will eventually die. Sometimes a giraffe, weakened by age or injury, will lose. Every day on the African savanna, only the fittest survive the race of life. For the great herbivores, every day brings a new battle. Whether it's the fight against predators, the search for food, or just surviving a dramatic climate, they have to keep moving to stay alive. Hippo, rhino, elephant, gorilla, or giraffe. They use their size, strength, and intelligence to keep them ahead of the game in the African race of life.
Every morning in the wild, a gazelle awakens. One thing is for sure for the gazelle that day, as every other. She must run faster than the fastest lion. If she cannot, she will be killed and eaten. Every morning, a lion awakens. For the lion too, one thing is certain. This day and every day, he must run faster than the slowest gazelle. Whether fate names you a gazelle or a lion is of no consequence. It is enough to know that with the rising of the sun, you must run, and you must run faster than the day before for the rest of your days, or you will die. We all have to run the race of life.
To survive in the wild, you have to fight. The winner might be the biggest. But with some animals, it might be the most agile or the most curious. To survive as a wolf, you need teamwork, speed, and intelligence. To win the battles on the African plains, it's the biggest set of horns. And to be the top carnivore in this world, you need big teeth and a fierce temperament. Keeping constantly on the move is just one way to win the race of life. All across the world, there is another prevailing skill for staying alive. It is a skill and an art that works in every ecosphere, from the jungle to the open sea. The animals who are masters of this art are often top of the food chain. They get first access to food and have almost no natural predators. They are strong survivors, from the icy lands of the Arctic to the sun-baked grasses of the equator. They can be found on isolated islands, cut off from the rest of the world, and among the crowded national parks of Africa. These animals are supremely designed for fighting. From the dogs of the sea to wolves, bears, and buffalo, they are the great warriors in the race of life. The mountains of America, Asia, and Europe are home to a giant mammal with a fierce nature. He hunts by day in the forests and rivers. His diet includes meat, berries, nuts, and fish. Full-grown males can reach 750 kilos in weight. They have large teeth and an exceptional sense of smell. Some species come to a special place at a special time every year. Bears. This one has come to the river for an event that tests the athletic skills of predator and prey to their limits. Bears are distantly related to dogs, but they have long bodies, stocky legs, and they're much, much bigger. This river is a major highway for a very special fish. Every year, Pacific salmon race along these waters to breed. They have to leap enormous hurdles and avoid being eaten by bears. These salmon have been at sea for 2 years. Now they're returning upriver to where they were born. This adult grizzly bear has been practicing her fishing techniques for several seasons. Victory. Despite the huge quantity of fish, catching a slippery salmon is a major challenge. The salmon run is at its peak in June and July, the Northern Hemisphere summer. These fish are an essential protein source for the bear and her family. When the weather changes, there will be almost no food around. She needs to eat as much as she can if she's going to live through the long and icy northern winter. This is a race to the death for fish and bear. Only the fastest and strongest salmon will get past the line of bears. And only the bears who pack in lots of protein will be strong enough to survive when the snow closes in. Bears start training to be warriors from almost the day they are born. These two cubs spend most of their waking hours playing. But they are developing the skills they need to be good fighters. They will need to win many fights if they are going to survive as adults. Bears don't just fight for food. They fight to defend territory and to win a mate. They also fight to protect their families. This young grizzly male is looking for his own territory. Bears are not very sociable. When they're not breeding, they usually live alone. But this territory has already been claimed. This time, the fight between the two bears is serious. If you have no territory, you have no food. In the wild, injury is as good as a death sentence. The new bear is too small. He's not strong enough to win this time. The dominant bear has won the race of life today. The younger bear must come back when he's big enough to take on this dominant male. This adult female has just made a major kill, and she's not about to share it. A wolf has picked up the scent of the kill. He's also hungry. The wolf is wary as he approaches the carcass. He's no match for the size and strength of the bear. The wolf must be very hungry. He could easily be killed in a conflict. Bears do not fear any other animal. They are apex predators. If the bear was injured, then the wolf might stand a chance. But not today. Even a pack of wolves would think twice before taking on a full-grown grizzly. Like all her kind, she has become a well-trained warrior. She will need to fight every day to survive alone. Competition is tough where the land meets the sea. Food can be plentiful, but that attracts a whole host of predators, and somewhere safe to live is often hard to find. Creatures who choose to live here must learn to fight for their share. Sea lions are perfectly adapted to live in this boundary zone, hunting in the water and resting on dry land. They live in vast groups comprising males and females, young and old. Some colonies have over 1,000 individuals. To hold all this territory, sea lions have become intelligent and fierce fighters. There are 7 different species of sea lion. Despite their adaptation for life in the sea, they all have a fur coat and small ears. This adult female is off on a hunt. Once in the water, she's really in her element. She's capable of speeds of up to 40 kilometers an hour. And she can dive down 250 meters. She's looking for a tasty squid, an octopus, or maybe some herring or hake. It's party time. Now they've been fed, it's time to head for home. Sea lions have 2 major predators who won't be far away: sharks and orcas. So they're racing back to the beach for their own safety. Back at base, the race of life is not over, especially for the bulls. It's breeding season, and only the best fighters will be given the chance to mate. The smaller bull is an intruder. The larger sea lion is fighting to maintain his role as the dominant male. This one has already been in a fight, but he's still up for more. Bull sea lions fight each other only during breeding season. For the rest of the time, they live together peacefully with the colony. Most of the sea lions in the colony have now returned from the hunt. But the beach is not as safe as it looks. A pod of orcas have come for dinner, and they enjoy eating sea lion pups. The sea lions flee for the shallows. The pup was too slow, and he has lost his race of life today. No one knows for sure why the whales throw the pups around, perhaps to stun them, or maybe even as a game. The orcas visit this beach every year during sea lion breeding season. It's a perfectly balanced fight for survival. Once the pups get too big, the orcas will leave, and enough sea lions will survive to sustain the colony in its communal race of life. One warrior has played more parts in myths and legends than any other. He's portrayed as a dark creature of the forest, a figure of nightmares and horror stories. He hunts in packs and howls at the moon. Animals take flight when they sense his approach. The wolf. Wolves have lived close to humans for almost 15,000 years. They came close to our campfires in prehistoric times and have served us as hunters, guardians, and companions ever since. The wolf is the direct ancestor of all our domestic dogs. He's intelligent, social, and a very impressive fighter. Life is tough on the Arctic tundra. There's limited sunlight, not much warmth, and very little food. Your chance of survival is increased if you work as a team. It's springtime, the snow is clearing, and the short growing season is beginning. The reindeer calves have just been born. This mother is nervous. She's seen the wolves. The reindeer break into a run. The pack of wolves is hot on their heels. The Arctic race of life is on. A calf has broken away. The wolves are faster, but the reindeer have more stamina. The she-wolf changes track. Her partner cuts off the calf. It's all over in seconds. The slowest reindeer is down. The wolves have been rewarded for their speed and teamwork. The leader of the pack gets to eat first. This behavior reinforces his place at the top of the wolf hierarchy. His mate will eat next, then the rest of the pack. Wolves have been wiped out in much of Europe and the USA, but they are now being reintroduced in some places with remarkable results. The wolf is the natural predator for large herbivores like elk and deer. When the wolves return to the forest, herbivore numbers are halved. This reduces grazing pressure on the young trees and shrubs. The forest blooms into life. This allows other animals to return, including beavers and foxes. So despite his fearful reputation, the wolf helps every plant and animal in the forest be in balance so they can run their race of life. This white-tailed deer mother has picked up the smell of the wolf pack. She will fight to protect her fawn. The stag moves in to help. But they're safe today. The pack have already made their kill. Wolves guzzle their meat quickly. They go for the soft, highly nutritious parts first. Heart, stomach, and kidneys. Then they feast on the muscle. Excitement over the kill can bring out the warrior instinct. This pack comprises a mother and father, their pups, and last year's offspring. They're one close family. So although the fighting looks fierce, no one will get seriously hurt. The family that hunts together, eats and fights together. And this wolf family is winning its warrior race of life together. On a remote island off an island continent lives a bizarre forest warrior. He has strong jaws and sharp teeth and likes to hunt under the cover of darkness. He has become an icon of the ancient forests and valleys. A survivor on this last outpost of wilderness. This is the world's largest marsupial carnivore. He roams for up to 20 kilometers in the search for food and makes his home in holes in the ground. He usually lives alone, but is often seen near others of his kind when there's food or shelter around. And he will use almost any excuse to fight. This is the Tasmanian devil. They used to roam across the entire continent of Australia until humans wiped them out. Now they are clinging to survival on the island of Tasmania. They're not territorial, but devils will guard almost anything. Devil jaws are an amazing weapon. With teeth like hyenas and a bite force that is the strongest in the animal kingdom. Fighting seems to be their favorite pastime. Tasmanian devils enjoy many kinds of meat, from fresh kills to decaying carcasses. These feisty little balls of muscle are the true warriors of the marsupial world. The Tasmanian devil is a truly unique animal. He is the size of a small dog, but his large head and tail make up half his length. The mountains and valleys of Tasmania echo with blood-curdling screams of the devil. This island is famous for its untouched wilderness and primeval forests. A perfect hiding place for an animal on the edge of extinction. This devil can smell an intruder. His jaw can open as wide as 80 degrees, and his bite is capable of crushing bones. His bite is so strong, he can even bite through pieces of thick metal wire. This national park has one of the largest groups of Tasmanian devils. This male can smell blood. It could be a carcass or an injured animal. His large clumps of whiskers help him find his way around in the dark, but they are also part of his adaptation as a warrior. Tassie Devil's whiskers help him precisely locate the face of his opponent. These guys might look stocky and clumsy, but they are precision fighters. Most devils have scars around their faces from many encounters like these. The male has found what he was looking for, a wallaby carcass. He shows no caution as he goes straight for the food. Devils are not fussy eaters. This guy will eat a range of meat, from birds, fish and reptiles, as well as vegetation and fruit. But in Devil Land, nothing comes without a fight. A crazy pattern of fighting and eating seems to be normal table manners for the Tasmanian devil. They very rarely fight to the death, but these stoushes enable a hierarchy among the devil community. Our big male is top devil today. The search for food among these mountains and lakes can be hard work. Devils can travel long distances at speeds of 10 kilometers an hour. They are the marathon runners of the Tasmanian wilderness. Sometimes they stop and start as they prepare for an ambush. This female can hear other devil calls. Another carcass. This time, there are 5 devils fighting for a share of the meal. Believe it or not, this is a social event. The fierce noises advertise the fact there's a meal to be had to other devils. The amount of noise indicates the size of the carcass. Fights like this keep the animals in the peak of fitness. Muscles, jaws, and high-speed reactions are constantly pushed to their limits. Our female is told to push off, but she won't take no for an answer. If she's not prepared to do battle to eat, then she will not survive. When devils attend these eating frenzies, they are communicating in a complex language. They have 20 different physical postures and 11 different vocal sounds. It might look brutal, but Tasmanian devils are sophisticated fighters with rules and manners. They are complex warriors in the marsupial race of life. One of the most dangerous animals in Africa is famous for his size. He's a menacing presence on the plains and grasslands. He lives among the great herds of herbivores and is most feared for his unpredictable nature. This fierce warrior kills more people every year than lions or leopards, but his main diet is grass. He hides among the tall grasses and reeds, ready to attack at any moment. The Cape buffalo. These impressive animals can stand 1.5 meters tall and weigh nearly a ton. But the reason for their deadly reputation is on their heads. Both males and females have a formidable set of horns. These horns are fused across the base, so they act as sword and shield. Cape buffalo are a species unto themselves, and they stand alone as the greatest herbivore warrior on the planet. This herd is mostly made up of related females and their young. There is one dominant male who can be recognized by the size of his horns. On the fringes of the herd are the young males. They waste no time getting into training with those horns. They start with play fights. Then the sparring becomes a jousting match to establish a hierarchy. Buffalo have only 3 main enemies: lions, humans, and the African dry season. They must join the great race of life across the plains to find fresh grazing lands and water. These migrating herds can contain over 2,000 buffalo. They join the vast numbers of wildebeest, zebra, and antelope in the long march to greener pastures. The November rain is what drives these animals to move. The Serengeti Plains near the Ngorongoro crater become rich with new growth grass. But by May, the grass is all grazed out, and the herds move north towards Kenya's Masai Mara. This is the greatest concentration of animal life on the planet, a true wonder of the natural world. But where there are lots of animals, there are also lots of predators. The only animal that will take on an adult buffalo is the lion. She must be very hungry. She's risking her life by attacking something so large and dangerous. The buffalo has spotted her. The lioness persists. A kick from the buffalo could be a deadly blow. The buffalo must get rid of her attacker before it gets to her throat. The lioness goes straight for the neck. She's done it. This pride of lions have gone for a safer target, a buffalo calf. But they are going to have to fight off a very angry mother. This is where those giant horns come in handy. And this is how buffalo kill. The lioness has pushed it far enough. She's not happy, but the buffalo and her calf have won their race of life today. The entire herd is now alerted. They don't want the lions hanging around. It's not worth the risk. The lions back off. They will have to find their meal elsewhere. The buffalo have not only protected themselves, they have protected their young. In this way, the entire herd of bovine warriors wins their race of life. Physical strength has always been a primary force for selecting the animals that will survive to pass on their genes. The great warriors of the wild have become large and strong as a result. From the bears and wolves of the northern forests to the warriors of the sea lions. The stocky Tasmanian devil is pound for pound as tough as an African buffalo. They have each finely tuned their skills to be winners in the warrior race of life.